So here we are once again. Good evening, folks. Mobile Geezer here, back with tonight's version of Friday Night Tech Talk. If you're new here, we do this every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern from the United States. And we have a few people from a couple of other countries, England and the Philippines, notably that I know of. I did get a notification from a subscriber in Brazil this week, so I don't know if he's watching, but I'm hoping he is. And well, let me go in order. First one in was Brian. He was in at like 7:30. He got in good and early, and he said the Pixel Fold is expensive. Well, money bags. And I just said, yes, it is. And then Eleanor wants to say hello. Wish everybody weekend is going better than mine. She's still recovering from her double foot operation. So I just said, we'll just have to keep praying for your feet to continue to recover and quickly. Brian says she hopes you feel better. And now Anthony just popped in. Anthony, you're right on time, so I really appreciate it. Coming in from Portland. And here's Vince. Vince is almost always right on time. Glad you're here, brother. Appreciate you very much. Anybody that's new here, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. And let anybody else who might be interested in tech know about the show and also know about the Mobile Geezer channel. And if you want to follow me and see what pictures that I post in different places, and I also post my 2 or 3 or 4 times a week workout results. That'll be on Instagram under Mobile Geezer, on Facebook under Mobile Geezer, and on Twitter under Mobile Geezer. I pretty much always post something about my workouts. I don't work out on Mondays and Fridays, but I usually work out every other day. Sometimes for Thursday, sometimes not on Thursday, but Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday, always. And when I can't work out outside, like I probably won't tomorrow, because it's supposed to rain here tomorrow afternoon, I do have my own gym at home, so I still get my workout in. And at 78 years old, that does pay off and help very, very much. Let's see. Anthony says Pixel Fold definitely expensive, but I'm on board. Yeah, I'm not dropping the $1,800, but you pretty much said you were going to beforehand anyway, Anthony. And we appreciate you very much, sir. Okay, so every week I put the show notes on my webpage. So let's show you guys that. So I will share screen. So the notes, let me get my branding stuff out of the way if I can. Okay, so the notes are on mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. Click on today's date, you'll get just the notes for tonight's show. And then you'll see what today's date. So while we're here, I will give you a quick preview of what we're going to talk about tonight. Get my branding stuff back. See. Comments. So the big thing for this week for most of us was Google I/O, and I just put up the announcements from The Verge. So we'll just go through everything that they announced. And then, of course, the big thing for all of us is the Pixel Fold. So I pulled that story from Tom's Guide. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then I figured just to switch things up, I say I always try to find articles that you guys probably won't see everywhere. So Thunderbolt 3 is coming to the iPhone 15 Pro. So we'll talk about that. It's kind of exciting, I think. And what I said is the Pixel Fold debut doesn't stop showing of the Galaxy Z Fold 5 renders. So we got some renders of the Z Fold 5, even though we're a few months away. So we'll go over that story. That was on Android Authority. And I said here, it's not only the U.S. market that gets hardware bypass. We often complain because they release stuff in China or India or Europe, but not in the United States. Well, this time they didn't release this stuff for the most part in India. And Harish says, not launching in India, and I'm pissed. So we'll go over that story. And Harish writes for Android Sensor. He's a terrific writer. So, and then I found a story that somebody, unlike some of the other budget phones, Moto does not put NFC on their budget phones. And let me stop screen for a minute. And speaking of Moto and budget phones, I've got the Moto G Power 2023 this week. I put a few pictures out just yesterday. I was waiting for my case to come in, but I want you guys to see it. Now that's an always-on display that I really like. I just like the way they designed it. I like the size of it. I guess you can change it. I haven't tried to as yet. Oh, and the fingerprint sensor is lightning quick on this thing. It really does a nice job. It's a side fingerprint sensor. So anyway, just wanted you to know that I have the Moto G Power 2023, and you're going to start seeing some videos about it. Let me put my case back on. First, there'll be a case video, probably tomorrow or Sunday. I've got some running around to do for tomorrow, but we'll see if I can get it up tomorrow or tomorrow night. And Anthony, my project thing, had $100 in store credit, $600 for the Z Flip 3, $1,100 out of pocket. That's true. And I checked mine, and I thought about trading my Z Flip 4, and I can get $900 for that. But that's still an awful lot of money out of my pocket, and I just don't want to lay out over $1,000 or $1,100. So I'll be bypassing. What good transfer speeds with the iPhone is not exciting. It's about time. Well, that is true. That's what the story coming up about the Thunderbolt 3, because the difference in speed is incredible. But you'll see that when we get to the story. I think that's all the comments that we have. Now, of course, if Ted comes by, or if Will, by some miracle, comes by, I will certainly let you know. And they have the link to the show already. And I'm not expecting Mike to come in. He did put up a video this week, so glad he got that up. And he was door dashing in his video. So if he does happen to come by, I will certainly let you guys know. Let's see. And Anthony says, in answer to Brian, I guess, plus the watch that talking about what he had in credit and everything, plus the watch that I will sell for a couple of $100 or so, which brings it down even more. That's true. Yeah. Oh, and here's Ted. Cool. So let's grab him, bring him in here. What's up, brother? Are you talking so I can see if your mic is working or not? Say something.
Hey, happy Friday.
Okay. So always a much better show when Ted is in here with me. So we've got Brian in here. He was first. Got Eleanor in here. Anthony from My Project 13. He's popped in right at the beginning. Vince popped in right at the beginning. And Eleanor is, I wouldn't say she's suffering a whole lot with her double foot operation, but she can definitely use some more prayer. So, and let's see. Brian says, I'm hoping Google can improve the watch in their next effort. And what I had said the other day to one of the guys is, to the guys on our Friday night chat that we have, is that I'm wearing my Pixel Watch today, and I love my Pixel Watch, but it's not even in the same league with the Galaxy Watch 5 or my Apple Watch SE. So I agree with Brian. I'm hoping they improve the watch, but I still like the watch. It's too small. That's my biggest thing. It's smaller than all the other watches. So let's see. Brian, I have the Galaxy Watch 5. Oh, Cranberry says, glad to have you here, brother. I have the Galaxy Watch 5. Solid performance from me and me also. Between my Apple Watch SE, my Galaxy Watch 5, and my Pixel Watch, my favorite is my Galaxy Watch 5. And for me, and this is a matter of personal preferences, for my workouts, I think that tracks me the best, especially when I'm riding bicycle. But the Apple Watch SE is really good at that too. So the Pixel Watch tracks me okay, but nowhere near as good as the other two. Okay, so I assume you got the stories.
Yeah, it's in my inbox.
Okay, you want me to start with the first story about the Google I/O, or you want to read that one?
You go ahead and do it.
All right, so first story, I'm with the biggie of the week, Google I/O. So I'm sharing screen now. Okay, and I pulled this one from The Verge. So Google I/O 2023, the announcements. So this says the 9 biggest announcements from Google I/O 2023. Google's I/O keynote was jam-packed with announcements. That's true, including 3 new Pixel devices and a bunch of new AI advances. Yeah, they spent like the first 45 minutes at least talking about AI.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to change this to reader view. Oh, and just so you guys know, I don't know, I got a new update on my Windows 11 here on my Microsoft Surface Pro 8, and all of a sudden my Chrome won't pull up my pages properly. So I'm using my Microsoft Edge on just about everything. So let me know if it doesn't go well, because StreamYard is ideal with Chrome, but it's the first time I've tried broadcasting with it. So far, it seems like it's okay. So just want to let you guys know. So let's go into read review, get rid of some of these announcements. Google just finished up, this is from 2 days ago, just finished up its I/O keynote where it announced some pretty major updates to its Pixel lineup and showed off its latest advances in AI. Boy, didn't they. If you didn't get a chance to watch the event live, we rounded up all of the biggest news that came out of the Google I/O keynote. So hardware-wise, this was what we were all waiting for, but we had to wait a while before we got to it. 3 new additions to the Pixel lineup. And there's the Fold. Google's Pixel hardware took center stage during the keynote as the company launched 3 new products, the Pixel Fold, the Pixel Tablet, and the budget-friendly Pixel 7a. And the only reason I didn't even think about the Pixel 7a because I have the Pixel 7 right here, so it wouldn't make sense for me. The $17.99 Pixel Fold marks Google's first entry into the foldable scene, and I'm seeing nothing but good things said about this so far. Featuring a 5.8-inch OLED outer screen that unfurls to reveal a larger 7.6-inch display that also is an OLED panel with 120 hertz refresh rate. Yeah, they did a good job with this, I think. There's also the new 11-inch Pixel tablet that's priced at $499, and I was really, really tempted by that. But as
I thought it was $399.
No, $499. $499. And there's no trade-in that you can put with that one, so you're just going to pay it up front.
So the tablet and the Pixel 7a are $499?
Yes. But with, at least I think with the 7A and with the Fold, you can trade in something. Not so with the tablet. I looked yesterday.
I
It's
was
like
singing this tablet's praises, thinking it was $3.99.
Yeah.
I was thinking, how did Google do it? And they're including the dock in the box.
no, they didn't do it. But if I am tempted by anything, it's by that. But as I said in one of my videos the other day, I have my iPad Pro 2020. I have my Microsoft Surface Pro 8, which I'm on right now, and I also have my MacBook Air M1. So I can't see myself justifying getting another tablet, but I am very tempted by it. Anyway, the device functions, we're talking about the Pixel tablets, functions as both your typical tablet and a smart display. They did a great job with that, thanks to the included magnetic charging dock that doubles as a speaker. And I agree with what MKBHD said. He was, and I am very pleased that they included the tablet charging dock and they're not charging extra for it. He did ask them if you wanted to get extra charging docks so you could put this thing all over the house as a speaker. It's $129, so he gave them kudos for throwing it in with the $499 price. And I agree. I think that together that makes a very nice buy. Lastly, Google updated its mid-range A-series lineup with the addition of the Pixel 7a. Just like the Pixel Fold and Pixel Tablet, the device features Google's Tensor G2 chip, along with a 6.1-inch 1080p display that can run up to 90 hertz. The base version of the phone costs $499, but some carriers will have a pricier $549 option that supports millimeter wave. You know that's Verizon. Oh, okay. And Google Search gets AI-powered snapshots. So these are snapshots you can do with AI. And they're showing Bryce Canyon shots and some Arches National Park shots. Anyway, I thought that was cool, but they showed all of this in the presentation. Google Search is getting a major update in the form of something called AI Snapshots. Once you opt into a new feature named Search Generative Experience, you'll start seeing AI-powered answers at the very top of your search results for some queries. Yeah, to me, the hardest thing to keep up with was them showing you all this because they went through a lot of stuff with the AI, which can provide more context to your search. You can then narrow down the information in the snapshot with follow-up options. And all the stuff they showed with follow-up with the AI, they did a nice job there. The AI snapshots are powered by the updated version of Google's large language model LLM called PaLM 2, something that Google also announced at I/O. The new model is already powering 25 Google services, including the company's Bard chatbot, and they talked a lot about that, and comes with improvements in reasoning, coding, and translation. And yeah, the Bard is much better than when they first debuted it, a month and a half ago? Bard is now available to everyone.
Still a long way to go, though.
Well, they all have a long way to go, but it's a heck of a lot better than when they screwed up when they first showed it.
I don't know, on the day of, it was used to find out stuff about Juan Bagnell. It said it brought up his actual YouTube channel, but it said his real name was John Biggs.
Okay, and they do make mistakes. I saw somebody else that said,
and he had 7 million subscribers.
Oh, who was? One of the smaller YouTubers. What's her name? Down in Houston, I think she's in Houston. She said Bard made a mistake in her name, and another girl said, "Yeah, Bard made a mistake and said she had like 100,000 subscribers," and she's like, "I wish." So it does make some mistakes.
But it's weird that it's making mistakes on the search part. Like,
yeah, that is true. It depends on how they have it integrated. Oh, Brian, thank you as always, sir. Very much appreciated. All right, let's see. Anthony, I think Got to go to bed, wake up early in the morning. Have a great evening. Thanks for coming by, Anthony. Always appreciate it. Yeah, Anthony, when you see Anthony's in the dark streams in the morning when he's driving to work, I think it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, his time, not our time. So he does get up early. And Ted says show is brought to you by Sweet Cake. Yeah, I haven't seen Renz in here yet. Last week he showed up late, but he did show up. I think he showed up after he got to work. Cranberry was one of the many testers that has come. Oh, so Cranberry was one of the testers of Bard. So he says it has come a long way. So that's good to know. Munchie says, "Hey, Munchie, glad to have you here, brother."
Can't be used to do coding. Yeah.
Munchie said, "Google rushing Bard. Microsoft got under their skin." Yes, and they have been rushing this thing ever since Microsoft has been so relatively successful with it, and I don't think that's changing. And we all said in the beginning, you could see that they were panicking because of Microsoft. I guess they still are,
Honestly, yeah, I know like people like Trevor were like complaining, like, they were Google put a lot of effort on AI, but
right.
Yeah, considering how bad it was the first time around, like they lost $1 billion valuation. I thought Google restrained themselves.
Yeah, but they're panicking because Microsoft seems to be so successful with it. Let's see, Steve says, I wonder when they'll integrate it into Google Assistant Nest Home. I thought I saw an article somewhere about it coming to Nest Home products soon, but it could be just in my old man's imagination. But anyway,
I was actually disappointed by the integration with Gmail. Like I thought, I could do more there, like improve bundling. Like we still don't have the level of bundling that we had with Inbox by Gmail.
That's true, but they did do a little bit of bundling with this.
Barely. It still doesn't compare to Inbox by Gmail.
No, but it's going to be a long time before it compares to Inbox. Munchie says
Inbox didn't have AI, did it? Or did it?
No, it didn't have AI, but they just did a great job when they had it. Munchie said Google I/O was more about AI than ML. I agree. Than it was about ML, machine language, and it was about Android. I agree, absolutely. They were pushing it very, very hard. And they're going to push it very. I think Google is upset because if you think about how long they've been talking to us about AI, and we're talking 4 or 5 years at least. So they were kind of the innovators, and all of a sudden Microsoft just blows by them like they're standing still. So that's where the panic comes from.
That's what they get, getting complacent.
Well, but I think it's so much they were complacent as they were going slow, thinking that nobody was going to be nipping at their heels. All of a sudden, Microsoft just blows right by them.
It was complacency.
You think so?
It's the same complacency YouTube had when they thought they were going to get Twitch, but then Amazon, Amazon got it from.
YouTube did that. I just didn't see it that way in this regard, but you could be right. All right, let me get on with this. Speaking of Bard, Google has announced that its AI-powered chatbot is now available to everyone, regardless of whether you are on the waitlist. That's good. The company is also adding a host of new features, such as support for Japanese and Korean languages and easier ways to export generated text to Google Docs and Gmail. There are new dark mode and visual search features as well, and Google plans on adding even more functionality in the future. That includes AI image generation that uses Adobe's AI image generator. Yeah, I thought they did a nice presentation there too, called Firefly, as well as integrations with third-party services like OpenTable and Instacart. Android is getting AI-powered customization options. AI isn't just coming for Google Search. Google has announced that it's also bringing new AI-powered features to Android. One of these features called Magic Compose. That's still coming. We'll live within Android's Messages app and give you the ability to reply to text using responses suggested by AI. It's also adding a feature that will let you use AI to create your own wallpaper. Yeah, when he showed that, I thought the whole wallpaper thing, I thought that was kind of cool. Instead of choosing from a set of pre-made options, you'll soon be able to describe an image which your device will then generate using Google's text-to-image diffusion model. Additionally, Google is launching a Pixel exclusive feature next month that lets you customize your device with new cinematic wallpaper that is deaf to one of your existing files. Yeah, he showed that and he did a nice job there. A new and improved Wear OS 4 will arrive later this year. This sounds kind of exciting because you get to talk to your watch a lot more. Even though Wear OS 3 hasn't even been fully rolled out yet, Google is already getting ready for Wear OS 4. And Google announced that the updated OS will come with improved battery life, a way for users to back up and restore their watches, and new accessibility features. Additionally, Wear OS 4 is getting better smart home integrations that will let you adjust lighting, control media, and see animated previews of camera notifications all from your watch. That's kind of exciting stuff. Wear OS 4 is only available in a developer preview emulator for now, with full availability coming later this year. I just hope they do it right, that's all, and don't overly rush it. The launch of the revamped Google Home app. The redesigned Google Home app is no longer an invite-only public preview and will become available to everyone starting, according to this, yesterday. The overhauled app comes with some major improvements, including a better camera interface, a new favorites tab, and support for a ton of new device types. Google must have figured out that a huge number of users are appending Reddit to their searches, because it's rolling out a new perspectives feature that sources answers from Reddit, Stack Overflow, YouTube, personal blogs, and other sites. Google Photos is AI-powered magic editor. This I thought was pretty cool. Google Photos is getting a brand new AI-powered editing feature that lets you make pretty significant edits to a photo. Yeah, I liked it when he moved the thing over and you brought the balloons into the shot that weren't even in the original shot. Like enhancing the sky, moving a person or an object, and getting rid of people in the background. It'll arrive in early access to select Pixel users later this year. Yeah, but this was a pretty good job. Google introduces Duet AI for Workspace. During the I/O keynote, Google also announced a new name for the suite of AI tools it's bringing to Docs, Sheets, Slides, Meet, and Gmail, Duet AI. While these workspace features let you do things like compose an email or generate images from text and slides, they're currently only available to those who sign up for its waitlist, which I haven't done. So those were the major announcements from the event, and we will move on to a little more depth for the fall. What are you laughing at? What do you laugh at? Oh, you think the old man can't hear you? Okay. I'm looking at the comments again.
That sky feature, magic editor looks.
I liked it. Let's see. Google has, let's Munchie. Google has 10 different AI and ML products at I/O. Wonder how many they will kill over the year. You got a good point there, Munchie. That's always the question with Google.
Munchie knows the game. In order for, if Google, at this rate, Google has to create stuff so they can kill stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You can't kill stuff unless you make it first. Knowing them, many plots in the Google graveyard, that could be. Brian says, so no overheating on the Pixel 7 with 4K 60. Munchie, yeah, Munchie did a video the other day. I think Munchie, you said that you were over 30 minutes at 4K 60 and it never did overheat. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, he's saying no overheating. So it sounds like it did great. I tried pulling out the 5A and thinking it had gotten better. Not at 4K 60, it hadn't, not at all. So But yeah, when Munchie has had his 7A for over a month, it was overheating. But when he got the May update, all of a sudden the overheating disappeared, and he's had none, as far as I know. Yeah, he said they fixed it. It was overheating like crazy on the March 2023 build. Then came May 2023, and it went from SHI show to the star of the show. So that's great to know. Just in time for summer in the yeah, because overheating has been a big problem with, and at least with the 5A, it was anything in the 80s. Forget about it. Let's see what else we got in the comments. Munchie, I tested the 84, 85 Fahrenheit. Feels like 88, 89. That's great to know. Munchie says he'll test again in the 90s. Brian, maybe they added thermal paste for the 7A. Munchie, the Sky feature has been on Xiaomi for Edge. That I did not know. Did not know that. But yeah, Xiaomi and Huawei, they're always way ahead of the game with the photography stuff. Cranberry said Magic Editor looks interesting. I agree. I'm kind of excited for when that comes.
Personally, I think
Munchie 45 minutes and it never overheated. What were you saying, Ted?
I was saying Google has a lot to do overall, though, in terms of the photo editor in the Google Photos app and Snapseed.
Okay. Yes, I've never used Snapseed.
So I wasn't actually that impressed by the new Magic Editor feature.
I was, but of course you're a photographer and I'm not, so it makes sense. I'm easily pleased. Okay, we ready to go on to the next story?
Yeah.
And you're going to read it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, I'm going to present it. Okay, share screen. Okay, this is about the Pixel Fold. All right, whenever you're ready, sir. Oh, wait a minute. I got the wrong one up. Sorry. My fault. Pixel Fold. Now I got the right one. All right, now whenever you're ready.
All right. Google Pixel Fold hands-on review. A refreshing. Goodness gracious, a review already.
Everybody is saying good stuff like this, so be prepared.
A refreshingly different foldable. The Pixel stands out with its thin design, comfier front display, and powerful cameras. I did notice the camera. It looked like it had the same camera like the Pixel 7 Pro. That was a good move.
Yeah.
Google Pixel Fold challenges Samsung directly with a thinner design and hinge that's engineered to be more durable. You also get a wider front display that's easier to use and a stronger zoom camera, but the Fold's price is high and the bezels are large.
Yep.
Show a picture of the Pixel Fold again. Large bezels? I didn't really see the large, but where's the large bezels?
I got to get out of the reader view for it. Okay, there you go.
Those are large bezels? Is that what they're calling large bezels?
Everybody is calling it large bezels. It didn't stick out to me, but everybody is mentioning it. And even all the people who are saying good things about the Fold, they're all saying the bezels are too big. So that's just how it is. Not to me, but.
All right. The Google Pixel Fold is very late to the foldable phone party. But who wrote this article?
Mark Spoonhour. He usually writes good articles,
But I'm not complaining because there's finally some real competition for Samsung in the battle for the best foldable phone. Asterisk in the USA.
Well, everybody's saying that though. I mean, everybody, MKBHD said that everybody's very pleased with this. What's his name? Michael. What's his name? Michael Fisher. He likes it a lot.
And Google seems to be. I haven't actually seen one review of the phone. I don't even know how there's reviews of this phone yet.
I've seen 4 or 5. Jaime Rivera seems to love it too.
Are they first impression reviews? Or are they just? Is it titled reviews?
Some of them, but Jaime has it in hand. No. Jaime had a first impression. I think Michael Fisher had it in hand, and I think MKBHD did too. So.
Google seems to be aiming right for the perceived weakness of the Galaxy Fold series with its debut device. Hate the thickness of the Galaxy Z Fold 4. The Pixel Fold is the thinnest foldable yet. Wish the front display wasn't so squished. The Pixel Fold's cover display has a wider aspect ratio. Google even claims that its hinge is the most durable out there based on its own drop test.
That's
Do not drop yours. Alas, the Pixel Fold does not beat the Samsung on price. The Pixel Fold starts at $1,800, which is exactly what the Galaxy Z Fold costs, and what the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is expected to cost when it arrives later this year. Also, the bezels on this foldable are pretty thick, and the crease is pretty. I did notice that crease immediately.
Nobody likes the crease.
I had a chance to go hands on the Pixel Fold, and these are my impressions so far. That crease was alone to not make me not get it.
Yeah, that's the one big complaint I'm hearing from everybody, besides the bezels.
Should I continue reading?
Yeah.
All right. The Google Pixel Fold is available for pre-orders starting now, as of May 10th, and the device goes on sale in June. Verizon has shared its Pixel Fold release date as June 27th, and they will post dates for AT&T and T-Mobile once they have them. Just be prepared to spend serious money. They already said the serious money, $1,800. And this is for 256 gigabytes of storage. And if you want double the storage, you'll have to pay $2,000.
Yeah, just about.
At least if you pre-order the Pixel Fold now, you'll get a Pixel Watch, where you'll get a free Pixel Watch, worth $349.
Yep.
The first thing you notice about the Pixel Fold is that the 5.8-inch cover display is wide enough that you don't feel squished trying to type. Okay, you see that. These bezels remind me of the iPhone 10. Is that such? No one was complaining about the iPhone 10, were they? Or was it the iPhone 11 I'm thinking about? iPhone 11.
11, I think you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But you didn't get too many complaints about bezels back then. Maybe a year later, I think the real complaints about bezels started. Seriously. Anyway, that's my impression.
Well, this is a welcome change to compare to the taller but narrower 6.2-inch screen on the Z Fold 4.
Okay, hold up a minute, because I just got a minor miracle. My wife's youngest daughter's son just gave me a donation. Bo, thank you very much. The grandson just gave me a Bo. Thank you very much. He says loves the videos. So I'm glad you do, Bo. I didn't know you were watching. Very happy. Okay, go ahead.
Let's see. It's not all good news, though. The Pixel Fold weighs 10 ounces compared to the 9.28 ounces of the Z Fold 4, and the Z Fold 5 is tipped to be even lighter. The Pixel Fold seems pretty tough, though. The Pixel Fold is 180 degrees. And it has fluid friction hinge designed to be folded over 200,000 times. And Google says that the hinge is the most durable. You get IP68 water resistance.
IPX8.
Yeah, what did I say?
6.8.
Oh,
yeah, not the same.
Yep. My only complaint about the hinge is that the phone doesn't seem to fold fully flat. What?
When open. Yeah, but it falls a lot flatter than the Z Fold floor, I think, when you close it. So I think.
But he says it doesn't seem to fold fully flat when open. So it doesn't open fully?
No, I'm thinking maybe the camera bar gets in the way. I'm not sure what he means. So,
like it's always bent? Like there's always like a little indentation, a bent?
And I'm thinking maybe that's because the camera bar is there. That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, does he? Oh, he's talking about it doesn't fold in on itself. Although, okay.
No, he's saying it went flat. He's saying both sides.
Okay. The Pixel Fold comes in two colors: obsidian and porcelain.
Yep.
I prefer the black since it hides the big bezels a bit better.
Big deal about the bezel. Well, here the bezel looks big on the outer display right here.
But that's because of the camera app.
Well, I'm thinking the upper bezel. Yeah, that is because of the camera app. But yeah, they're making a big deal about the bezels, and I don't. To me, it's not. But of course, I don't have one in hand, and they do. So
Like, I'm looking at my iPad Pro and 11, and that, which has bigger bezels than that
right.
Pixel Fold. So
And
like,
I'm
what are we?
looking at my Surface Pro 8, which is what I'm on right now, and my top bezel is big as all get up, but I'm just used to it.
Let's see. You can also use the Pixel Fold in tablet mode. And Google says it has optimized more than 50 of its apps for the big screen. Only 50?
I thought 50 was pretty good. That's what I thought.
I think all of them would be even better.
Oh boy, you greedy sucker.
Greedy. They're asking $1,800 for this device.
Well, so is Samsung, and they haven't made everything optimized. I don't think.
Samsung hasn't optimized all of their own apps for the Fold?
Oh well, yeah, that's probably true. They probably because again, I've never had one in hand, so I can't really say.
Plus, it's working with third-party apps like TikTok, Spotify, Asphalt 9, and Disney Plus to make sure they work well on the large canvas.
I love
Similar
me some Asphalt 9. I could play with that.
Similar to the Z Fold 4, you can run two apps side by side on the Z Fold's large display, as well as drag and drop content between windows, just like the Surface.
Yeah.
Such as Google Photos and Messengers. And there's a taskbar to easily switch between apps, which disappears when not. That part really reminded me of iPad OS.
And well, see, when they said drag and drop content between, it made me think of my Surface Duo.
The coolest trick is yet to come with Android 14. In the future, you'll be able to do things like live translation between two people, with one person looking at the Pixel Fold's inner display and the other person viewing it on the cover display. That's
yeah, and somebody showed how that would work, and I thought that was very cool.
The 5.8-inch OLED cover has a resolution of 2092 by 1080 and is rated up to 1550 nits of brightness and 1200 nits with HDR content. The inner 7.6-inch display has a resolution of 2208 by 1840, and it isn't quite as beaming with 1450 nits of peak brightness and 1000 nits with HDR. The good news is that the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer looked immersive on the 7.86 display, but the crease was noticeable at certain angles since we were outdoors during the hands-on session.
That makes sense.
The Pixel Fold's front is protected with Gorilla Glass Victus, while the inside panel uses the ultra-thin, the UTG, with a protective plastic layer, where we heard this before.
Yeah, exactly.
Pixel Fold packs a trio of rear cameras. It has a 48 megapixel main sensor, a 10.8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a 10.5. Hey.
10.8, still 10.8.
Hey, it's not the same cameras as the Pixel 7 Pro then.
No, it's not.
Throw in the fire. The cover display houses a 9.5 front camera for selfies, and there's an 8 megapixel inner camera for selfies and video calls. And if you're not satisfied with those options, you can leverage the rear camera selfie mode and use the 48 megapixel sensor to snapshots by flipping the cover display out. Oh my goodness! What is that?
I think Jaime Rivera showed that, and it looked very cool. I thought.
I was impressed with the camera quality in my brief hands-on time, with a sharp-looking portrait of my colleague Kate. Plus, with the 5x optical zoom, you can make out the fine details of her hair when we zoomed in. The Pixel Fold is powered by Google's Tensor G2 and a 12 gigabytes of RAM. You should be able to have plenty of oomph for multitasking. There's also a 256 gigabytes of storage, although you can spring for 512 gigabytes. During the hands-on time, the performance seemed fairly smooth, but I experienced a couple of bugs. For example, an app wouldn't orient properly from going from tablet to tent mode. But hopefully Google can work out the kinks. The Pixel Fold packs a 4,727 milliampere battery. That's not impressive. Okay. The good news is that this is bigger than the 4,400 milliampere battery in the Z Fold 4. However, Google doesn't have the best reputation for battery life. No, they don't.
True.
My 7 is still horrible. So we'll see.
My 7 isn't bad at all, but
So we'll see if it can somehow land on our best phone battery life list. The Pixel Fold supports 30 watts of wire charging, which is the same as the Pixel 7 series. The device also supports Qi charging, wireless charging.
Yeah.
Overall, I have a mixed reaction to the Pixel Fold. I love the outer display. Let's see. He also loves how thin the foldable is and the fact that Google has thought through all the ways you can use this device when it comes to optimized apps and the split screen multitasking. And he's encouraged by the camera system and the 5x telephoto zoom. However, the bezels on the Pixel Fold are pretty chunky at this stage of the game, and the crease could be more subtle. And while $1,800 price matches this Fold series, it is exorbitant. We'll bring you. Although, guys, you can get it for $700.
You mean
Or
with
is
your
it-
trade-in?
No, it's either $700 or you get $700 off if you get it through Google.
Oh
Fi.
yes, yeah. With that, yeah.
Yeah, Mike was saying that.
But you're paying it off over what, 2-year period at that point, aren't you?
Yeah, it's 24 months bill
Yes,
credits.
I will not do time payments for anything, anytime. I mean, for any phone, that's for sure. That's just me, though. All right. So that's the Pixel Fold. I won't be getting it, but obviously a lot of people will keep an eye on my Project 13, Anthony's, because he's definitely getting it. So you'll be seeing it there, and you know he always does a great job covering this stuff. Let's see. Somebody had given me. Okay. Oh, that was Bo. Okay. Oh, Annette was in here. Annette. Oh, Annette's got to go. She's setting up an Apple Home Pod Mini. Okay. Now you guys are coming through my smoke alarm. Okay, I did something wrong. Yeah, I said so. All right. Good luck with that, Annette. Okay. Thanks, Bo. Annette. Munchie, it's not 180 degrees. Oh, he's saying the flat is not 100. So you're right. It doesn't open all the way. Where'd you go, Ted? Ted walked to the other side of the room. I could hear him. And you guys think I'm strange.
So what happened? What did I miss?
Let's see. That's whack for Google. Folded flat, Google. And Munchie said, you're right, it doesn't fold flat down. 1,800 is MSRP for early adopters. Yeah, that's another thing I'm thinking. This is the first generation product. They spend $1,800? Nah, I don't think so. Not me. They better start optimizing. Good point. Munchie.
Hey, Gary, what's up?
Wait 2 months and it'll be 1,200. I hope so.
2 months. What's 2 months? Today is May, June, July.
So it's discount pretty quick. That's true.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's gonna.
if it got down to 1,200 and I could trade something in, then I'd go for it.
It discounts for October.
And that's back, so she's
For Black Friday and stuff. It's not gonna discount that fast.
Listen, Brian says Ted calling it trash already. Brian says G2 is not energy efficient. I was hoping they were going to come out with the G3, but obviously not. A bunch of people were hoping that. Steve, with the Pixel tablet and the Pixel Fold, hopefully the experience on other tablets will improve. Yeah, but I'm thinking the main, at least in the United States, the main one that they're competing with is going to be the Galaxy Fold, and I don't hear anybody complaining about that, although maybe they'll force them to improve somewhat. Brian says, but it's got a bigger battery than the Z Fold 4. That's true. Brian says, I got an echo. I think I only have an echo on Ted's. It's coming out of Ted's room somehow, I think. Because I'm hearing an echo when both you and I talk coming in. Now it stopped. Gary says, hey, Gary, buy outright. I'm with Gary on that. What up, Ted and George? Getting the Fold and tablet. Cost me about $2,500, but cool. Good for you, Gary. Brian says enjoy it. And
Well, yeah, the only device I'm looking at getting is that Pixel tablet.
yeah,
And
I
then
could see myself at some point getting the Pixel tablet, but I'm so tablet rich as it is, it's hard for me to justify. But like I said, if prices start coming down, then I'll start looking at things again. Right now, I have my $279 Moto G Power, and so far I'm liking it. So
yeah, the tablet would replace that guy. So long, sucker.
yeah, and the
Give that
tablet
away.
with that dock, it's wonderful. Yeah, and I could replace. I have one. Actually, I could probably get one for Eleanor because her Nest Home Hub gives her problems sometime, and we had replaced her older one with that one, and it still acts up sometimes. So maybe I need to think about getting the tablet for Eleanor. We'll see what happens.
And then and also because also my iPad Pro is like from 2018, so
Yeah,
gonna give up the ghost anytime. I have the replacement ready to swoop on in.
there you
And
go.
And
Ryan saying that's a
know,
lot of money, I guess, to Gary. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
$2,500. It's a lot of money. That's true.
And LumaFusion is supposed to be amazing on the G2. Like it
Is
has the fastest, but yeah. If I don't know if you see if you're privy to some Gadget Guys benchmarks, but so far the
I do. I am when I have time to watch.
But yeah, it's usually just post. But yeah, so far as the G2s have had the fastest render time. So
Okay. All right, I'm going on to the next story, which now we're going to switch to iPhone. So,
let me do the iPhone.
oh, you want to do it? All right.
Yes, please.
All right, I am going to present share screen. Okay, I will let you do that.
But first, Brian has a question. I wonder how the camera compares to the Pixel 7 Pro. I don't think it's going to be as good as the Pixel 7 Pro. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe one of them will and not the rest. I'm not sure, though. Anyway, all right, so this is going to be on Tom's Guide. So whenever you're ready, sir.
Oof, I'm so thirsty. Let's see. So the iPhone 15 Pro is tipped for Thunderbolt 3 support. What it means for you by Richard Priday.
Yeah, I would think pre-day, but I'm not sure. Go ahead. All right, I'm going to read if you get rid of some of these commercials. Okay.
If the rumors, you know how I feel about rumors. If the rumors of the iPhone 15 Pro gaining a USB-C port weren't enough, then pay attention to the latest rumor from leaker Analyst 941, who claims the next-gen Pro iPhones will support Thunderbolt 3 connectivity.
Yeah, I never heard of Analyst 941, but okay.
You want to click on it to see who this guy is?
No, I'll wait.
Thunderbolt 3 is normally found on desktop and laptop computers and can transfer data at up to 40 gigabytes per second, while also handling power and video at the same time. For comparison, Apple's Lightning connector used on iPhones for the past decade uses USB 2.0, a 20-year-old standard that has a 0.48 gigabit per second data speed cap, which is magnitude slower.
So you're comparing 40.48 gigabits to 40 gigabit. That's a huge difference there, man.
Beyond being much faster and using industry standard USB-C connector as rumored, the iPhone 15 Pro will also be able to take further advantage of the Thunderbolt 3 thanks to features in iOS 17. One of these is live 4K video output to an external monitor.
I thought that was very cool, that idea of that.
Which will apparently allow you to view what you're recording on an iPhone on a bigger, this could be for AR.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the camera controls in the way. Many Pro iPhones still have uses even for regular users like the telephoto camera, 120 hertz motion display. Others are aimed at more enthusiasts such as This video output feature, however, sounds like one of the most pro-spec features ever to appear on an iPhone. It's little surprise that iPhone 1 calls the feature niche.
Now, do you use ProRAW much?
I don't
Because
have
I
an
think as a photographer, you might use it, no?
I don't have an iPhone,
Oh, I forgot. You got rid of yours.
but I do use the RAW on my Pixel.
Okay. I figured you would, you know.
More potential benefits. A faster connector on your iPhone is still something nearly any user would be able to appreciate, even if they didn't use this alleged video feature. Anybody who needs to trade files between their phone and another device would appreciate the enhanced speed of Thunderbolt.
That's for sure.
For instance, being able to show your iPhone's display on a larger screen could have implications in other areas beyond video recording too. If Apple or its allied developers were to introduce iOS apps designed to work on bigger displays and could add full support for Bluetooth, then the iPhone could become an amazing pocket-sized productivity tool.
Yeah.
We've seen similar smartphone features in the past with Samsung's DeX and Motorola's Medi 4, which have a mixed record. But Apple already offers extended display support on its iPad Pro and iPad Air. And until this year, they sucked.
Well, yeah. I tried it once on my iPad Pro, and I can't remember why I didn't try it again.
Along with Stage Manager for improved app management over multiple screens. Perhaps we could see some of the iPad's productivity features trickle down to the iPhone to make most of the new Speedy port. If you're still not sold on the benefits of Thunderbolt USB-C port, then perhaps other tipped upgrades to the iPhone's 15 range, like comfier looking curved design, a stronger telephoto camera, and a powerful but efficient 3nm chipset will. Whatever Apple does have for us, though, we'll probably be waiting until September to see it.
Yeah.
At least we'll probably learn about the upcoming software features in iOS 17 and at June's WWDC. Oh,
yeah,
DC.
one month to go.
That's 1 month. My goodness.
Yeah,
All the tech stuff is just bombarding. It's like, waterfall.
Anyway, I think it's kind of I thought the idea that you can put it to a 4K display is pretty cool. Which I could.
It's a rumor, George.
Well, I just think I have a 4K TV, so I could throw it over there. I have two 4K TVs, no, just one. So yes, I know it's a rumor, but I find a lot of the rumors for iPhones come out to be true much more so than anything else. Don't you?
Nah.
I do.
If we're talking about volume, no.
See, you're the young one, less than half my age, and you're the jaded one, and I'm the optimistic one. Something's wrong here.
But I think, though, an iPhone or an iPad, and maybe like through AirPlay, like if you were to play like Apple TV on an iPhone and you were to connect it on HDMI to your TV, couldn't it output technically 4K?
I would think so, but I'm thinking.
Or does it cap out?
But I'm thinking this means without connecting it to HDMI. I'm thinking. I could be wrong.
Well, the Thunderbolt would be the HDMI connection.
Let's see. Munchie, Apple wants to use the cloud. No way they're giving you Thunderbolt on a phone. He could be right. Munchie is often right, so your jadedness could be borne out, Ted. For a company which doesn't let you use dual monitors on base M1 and M2, they will let you 4K output to a monitor? Hell no.
There you go. That's I agree with Munchie on.
He's making good sense. I can't knock that. Here's Big House. Glad to have you here, brother. So I hope
welcome home, Big House.
Hope you made some extra money. If you want to send some of it over here so I can get a Pixel full, feel free.
But actually, there is actually a big problem with the USB 2.0 connection iPhones. Like the whole, the glasses stuff from Rokid and all that.
Right.
Yeah, there doesn't really iPhones really can't support it.
Really? I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that too. The USB 2.0 port it just gets in the way.
Okay.
So something has to be done.
Well, I guess I will find out because I will be getting a roll kit supposedly this month. We'll see.
Okay. I mean, if Apple is serious about this AR, if Apple's AR has anything to do with iPhones, then yeah, that port has to change immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would make sense. Then yeah, and that would make a lot of sense with the USB. Okay. P.S. Munchie. Analyst 941 is an Apple leaker. I said I never heard of him. Okay, but
Who
Munchie
got their sister?
who got their sister fired from Apple. Really? The sis worked at Apple and the analyst shared leaks. Oh, no wonder she got fired. Wow.
So who is this? Click
I
on the
wonder
name.
what, I
Let me
wonder
go
what
click
their
on it.
relationship is like now. Wow, that's pretty rough stuff, man. I mean, if she went and got a job at Google, okay, I guess it's okay, but I don't know. That's pretty rough getting your sister. But of course,
It
it's
looks-
her own fault for telling him about the stuff. So,
Or maybe it wasn't even that. Maybe she just had documents open and he just walked
no,
over and just looked at them.
He's leaking Apple stuff and she got fired. That's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Remember the time this guy brought his daughter to work at Apple?
Yes.
And she took pictures of
Yes, I
a
remember
guy
that.
who fired.
And he
Apple
got
don't
fired. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Apple don't play.
Big house. I'd like to see Touch ID on the power button. Yeah. Brian asked him if he's getting the Pixel Fold. He hasn't answered yet. And Big House, he's always kind. Pixel Fold fun. Oh, Big House, you're very kind. Although I'm still probably not going to get it, but it's going to Good Tech. So appreciate it very much as always, brother. Very kind of you. So yeah, Big House, we're all waiting to see if you're getting the Pixel Fold. Based on that, I'm going to guess he's going to get it, but we'll see.
Hold on. Why don't you hold off on that Pixel phone and get that new Xperia, George? Yeah, Xperia
I
V.
keep thinking every time I get to the Xperia, they cost so much money.
They brought this one down in price, George. They took off $200.
And what does it cost now? What does it cost now?
$1,400.
It's $1,400. Have you
They
got
took
one?
off $200.
Have you got one?
No, I haven't got one yet. I'm waiting for the 5.
You're the professional photographer talking.
I'm waiting for the 5.
Perfect phone for the professional photographer, and you want me to buy one? Come on.
I'm getting the 5, George. I'm getting the 5.
When are you getting the 5?
Whenever they announce it.
Okay. All right. So you're going to spend whatever it costs to get the 5.
Yeah. Hopefully it's still going to be $1,200.
Oh, Big House says no problem. I'm not getting the Pixel Fold, but definitely getting a 7A. Yeah, and I had said earlier I would get the 7A, except here's the 7 right here, so it wouldn't make much sense for me. So, okay, next story. All right, I guess now I can read one. Okay. I did throw in some other stories to try to get us off. So I'm going to share screen. And the next story is from Android Authority. What I said, the Pixel Fold debut doesn't stop showing of the Galaxy Z Fold 5 renders. So let's get over to Android Authority. Here's your first look. So we're a few months away, of course, from the Z Fold 5, but that never stops us from getting leaks and looks. Here's your first look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. Samsung's next foldable flagship stretches stuff from all angles. So let's go into reader view, get rid of some of these ads. Oh, and this was by, it doesn't even tell me who wrote it. No, it doesn't. Wait, let me drop it out of reader view again. Maybe I missed the name. There it is. Adama Sharma. Okay. I guess Sharma must be a very common Indian name because I used to work with a couple of guys named Sharma in Orlando. All right, back to reader view. The Galaxy Z Fold 5 is still months away, but the leaks have been relentlessly spoiling Samsung's unpacked party. The phone has now appeared in renders shared by prolific and highly accurate leaker OnLeaks. Yeah, very accurate. In partnership with SmartPrix. So this, folks, is as close as we'll probably get to seeing the Galaxy Z Fold 5 before Samsung officially announces it. But enough chatter, let's get into the phone's design. And yes, as we're going to be seeing pictures, I probably should put it back in regular view because it'll probably show up better. Okay. Yes, it just didn't even show when I had it in reader view. So there's a three. I thought they might expand, but they didn't. Okay. On the hinge of perfection, it's been long rumored that Samsung is fixing the hinge on the Galaxy Z Fold line. Yeah, good timing since Pixel is saying this is going to be stronger. The new hinge on the Galaxy Z Fold 5 is on full display in the renders. Yeah, but the renders here aren't very good. Yeah, not so hot. Okay. I thought I should be able to click on something. Now, of course, I am on sure, I'm not on Chrome. Maybe in Chrome, but I can't get Chrome to work right. I got an update on this computer today, so maybe that's why. Anyway, the tipsters suggest that the overall thickness of the upcoming foldable has reduced to 13.4 millimeters when folded, as opposed to the Z Fold 4, which was 14.2 millimeters to 15.8 due to the hinge gap. Samsung is expected to use a droplet-style hinge design similar to Oppo's second-gen Flexion hinge used on the Find N2, and a lot of people loved that one. I remember that. Overall, the Galaxy Z Fold 5, yeah, it's not coming up in Edge the way it would come up in Chrome. That's the problem. But nothing I can do about it. Okay. Overall, the Z Fold 5 is set to retain the same 6.2-inch outer display and a 7.6-inch inner screen. However, we may see the bezel shrink all around. The device is expected to measure 154.9 by 129.9 by 6.3 millimeters when folded, and 154.9, 67.1, and 13.5 millimeters when folded. Furthermore, the leakers note that the triple rear camera module of the Galaxy Z Fold 5 will protrude from the back. The position of the LED flash has changed slightly, and it's now moved to the side. I'm sorry I can't get this to work in Chrome. It just started tonight. It was working yesterday. But so I guess we're not going to get such a good look at it. At least I can tell you about it. Furthermore, the leakers noticed that the triple rear cameras will, oh, I read that. Okay. That's about it for the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Multiple leaks in the past have outed possible specs, the release timeline, and the other information about the phone. You can read all about them in our Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 rumor roundup. So, all right, I'm going to stop screen. I'm going to see if I can get this particular story to come up in Chrome. I doubt it. I'll give it a shot, folks. Okay.
Big West is asking me about the Moto 2022 Moto Edge. I think it's actually a really good phone.
It is a good phone. I did get it to come up in Chrome, but it doesn't do any better with the pictures. Anyway, I give it a shot.
I think, even though I don't think, Moto's the look of the photos doesn't compare to Pixels, I actually think Motorola has a better UI than Pixel.
A lot of people have always loved the Moto UI. And
I mean, the camera UI too.
Oh, okay, good. This Moto G Power is the first time I bought a G Power, but this is the 4th year they've made it. And I just said, I've been buying nothing but high-end phone. Let's see if I can buy a budget phone, and it seems to be nice so far. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so far I'm liking it. And I know the one I loaned you is a very good phone. But that phone was $800 when I got it, so I wouldn't call that a budget phone. This phone was only $279. Okay, we're going on to the next story. You going to read it?
NFC?
No, it's not the NFC. It's the India about him not getting this stuff from this
yes, I love that. Yes, I love a good story about gatekeeping.
Okay, I'm going to share screen.
Let me give out the bad news.
And Harish has been writing for them for years, and he's a terrific writer. All right, I just said it's not only the U.S. market that gets hardware bypassed, India gets left out too. And this is on Android Central.
Jana Lagada.
Yeah, and he's a terrific writer, and he's always good whenever they have their.
And I'm guessing he's in India.
He's always in India. Yeah, he covers.
He's like, hey, Google.
He covers most of the Asia stuff for Android Central. He does a great job too. Okay, go ahead.
Google, why can't we have nice things?
Well, you forgot to say, and I'm pissed.
He's like, I'm upset. 50,000 on my head. That's a mess. Let's see. Google just unveiled its latest hardware products, and the Pixel 7a builds on the strengths of its predecessor and is in contention for one of the best mid-range phones of the year. The Pixel tablet is also intriguing, and the ability to dock it and use as a tablet as a smart home control hub makes it much more alluring for my own use case.
I agree.
Oh, what is your use case then? But the device that caught my attention the most was the Pixel Fold. Google finally launched its foldable device, and it looks amazing. It was the hardware and the design to go up against the Z Fold 4. There's only one problem. The Pixel Fold isn't coming to India. In fact, it's only launching in the US, UK, Germany, and Japan, and that is a letdown considering what's on offer. Similarly, Google has stated that it will not bring the Pixel. Okay, that's a bit mean. Yep. With the 7a, the only launch on the cards for this cycle. I don't understand Google's thinking here. The brand said last year that it wants to be taken seriously as a hardware player, but that's hard to do when products are only available in just a few countries. Google's hardware efforts have started to gain momentum over the last 18 months, mostly on the back of the 6A and the 7 series. But the biggest issue is that these devices are still only sold in a dozen countries. It's understandable that Google is being cautious about what market it launches and its product sits in. It doesn't want to overcommit and underdeliver, so it's being strategic and bringing devices to countries where it thinks it has the best potential for sales. That said, Google has been making hardware for nearly a decade now, and it needs to figure out a more coherent strategy. Let's see. A lot of friends and family members bought the 6A and the 7 Pro on my recommendation last year. When they wanted to pick up a smartwatch, I had to suggest the Galaxy Watch 5 because in its infinite wisdom, Google decided to not launch the Pixel Watch in India.
That I didn't know.
Is that still the case?
I think it's still Google. The case, yeah.
Hey, Google. Does Google sell the Pixel Watch in India?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
I don't know. You're supposed to know.
It looks like it's a no as of October 2022.
Okay.
The piecemeal approach is definitely hurting the perception of Google as a major hardware brand, and it's annoying to see that it doesn't sell all of its products in all regions where it has a presence. I can't think of any other brand that does this. Samsung has the same portfolio of devices for sale globally as does Apple. Well, doesn't Samsung have different variants of devices?
Yes, and I don't know which ones they sell, but I always had the impression, at least as far as when I hear Harish talking, that most of Samsung stuff does get released there.
And while Xiaomi and Oppo tend to limit a few flagships to China, an overwhelming majority of their products are launched globally. Well, just not here in the US. That's
Exactly.
just not the case with Google. One of the factors affecting Google's decision to launch the Pixel Fold and the Pixel tablet in India could be local duties. Google doesn't have a local manufacturing facilities in India, so the device it sells in the country attract hefty import duties that are passed on to consumers. With the Pixel Fold coming in at $1,800 in the US, it would be sold at a significant premium in India. But Google cannot use this excuse as a crutch and limit what it brings to India, as that would significantly limit its presence as a hardware brand in the country.
But India is hard on imports in general, much more so than other countries from other stories that I've read. So that could be part of the reason.
There, that was the statement I was looking for. While India is a value cheap conscious market that doesn't really come into the question for Halo products like the Pixel Fold. I see a lot of Galaxy Z Fold and iPhone 14 Pro Max devices in the wild, and these cost anywhere between $200 to $500 more than their US siblings.
It's true.
Google needs to show that it cares about India when it comes to hardware efforts, and up to this point, it hasn't done that at all.
And the funny thing is, the Google CEO is from where? Oh, yeah, India.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he knows something like they're not going to buy
Yeah,
this.
that we don't know yet.
He's like, maybe he knows his audience. And even
Yeah.
if the duties were the excuse for not bringing the Pixel Fold to India, that doesn't explain why the Pixel Watch didn't launch in the subcontinent last
I
year.
agree.
That's a good point. And the tablet too. Like, what's the point of the tablet then? Like, it's an affordable tablet.
I agree.
Right? And especially with the
definitely should be
OnePlus.
there.
Yeah, if the OnePlus Pad can sell in India, certainly the Pixel tablet too.
That's right.
And why the Pixel tablet isn't being introduced this time around. These two products have the potential to sell in decent numbers in India, and it's frustrating to see that Google isn't offering them in the country.
And he knows what he's talking about because he, like Jerry, he has the ear of people at Google, Apple. He talks to these people directly, just like Jerry does. So he knows what he's talking about.
More than anything else, this lackadaisical attitude towards launching products makes it hard to recommend Google's hardware. And I'm not even going to talk about Google smart home efforts in India, as they're non-existent other than the Nest Hub. The brand hasn't bothered to launch any of its Nest branded devices in the country. That's funny.
Yep.
How are they just going to have the Nest Hub, but there's nothing to...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny. At a time when other brands are bringing their flagships to India and focusing more on the region, Google is content to just ply the bare minimum of hardware.
Yep.
The Pixel 8 sold remarkably well in India, and I have no doubt the Pixel 7a will do the same, but this attitude of launching only a few products in the country, combined with Google's history, didn't bother launching the Pixel 4, 5, and 6 in India.
Is that your Google? Is that your Google ringing or
Hey,
what?
Google, stop.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. Okay, let's see. And while this isn't the first time Google has done something like this, the brand's fledgling efforts with the initial wave of Android One devices failed to take off, and it tried to course correct a few years later and launched a second wave of Android One devices, this time collaborating with the likes of Xiaomi and Nokia. I did not know that.
I remember that.
That is
Yeah,
messed
but
up.
Android One ever took off in India the way they expected it to.
And while Nokia still continues to release phones running Android One, it's safe to say that Google failed with Android One. Yeah, Sundar Pichai was talking about that.
I agree. Yeah.
But it was only Google's failure. Xiaomi did well with that Android One.
No, it was definitely only Google's failure. Yeah.
There was something before Android One, though. Like Android One focused on simplicity of hardware to make it affordable. But
I don't remember what it was.
But there was the one before, which it focused on the hardware to make it affordable for.
But I think it also focused on even cheaper stuff, I think, if I remember correctly.
Then there's a story of Pixel hardware. I was excited when Google started selling the Pixel series in India and was keen to see the brand bring all of its ecosystem products to the region.
Yeah, not yet.
Things were good until the Pixel 3 series. Oh, yeah. But Google encountered its first hurdle with the Pixel. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one was messy.
Yep.
The solely face unlock tech that was using the device wouldn't work in India because of local restrictions around frequency use. So Google decided
that's
not
right.
to.
I remember that. I remember reading articles about that. Yeah.
Hold on. I thought they just blocked that feature in India. I didn't know they didn't sell the Pixel 4. I figured that was an anomaly and things would get back to normal with the Pixel 5, but the device never showed up in India and neither did the Pixel 6.
Okay. So it wasn't an anomaly.
Google didn't share any coherent reason as to why that was the case. Yeah, the reason with the solely thing was like, it used a very dense frequency band, like it was above like 800 or something, and that wasn't allowed in India.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. Remember how I said I recommended Pixels widely? Well, when those friends and family wanted to upgrade their phones, I had to tell them to switch to Samsung because Google was in the business of selling phones in India anymore. Then the brand announced it would release the Pixel 7 in the country, and I was once again excited. I thought Google had realized its mistake and would take the country seriously when it came to hardware efforts.
Look at this next line.
I was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
The Pixel Watch never showed up in India. I wonder why.
That is weird.
It's not like it's expensive.
No, it's cheap. I mean, compared to other stuff, yeah.
And now Google isn't bringing its marquee devices like the Fold and the tablet, to the country. Every time I get excited about Google's hardware efforts in India, the brand finds a way to let me down and make me look like a fool. Do they sell Chromecast in India? Makes me wonder.
Good.
So the next time when someone asks me for a phone recommendation, I'll do what I should have always done and ask them to pick up the current Samsung flagship.
Yep,
It's clear to me that Google doesn't think of India as a market that deserves its best devices. So I'm going to do the same and suggest other brands that actually care about the region. Notice how he's not recommending anything OnePlus.
Yeah. But you know what's good about him writing this? That Google reads stuff he writes. I guarantee you that.
He's gotten fed up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but yeah, I would have thought that was it too. Like, like India's too cheap for the premium stuff, but
yeah, but I guess not.
But reading the article, like, yeah, there's plenty of cheap stuff that Google isn't selling.
The watch is really weird. Why wouldn't you sell the watch there?
And not just the watches, like the Nest doorbells and stuff like that.
And now with this tablet that turns into a hub, it seems very weird. Let me get back to the comments.
Like, I can understand maybe India is the afterthought, but no, it's not there. They don't make him an option.
Okay,
That's a big house.
Brian, don't you have the standard Pixel 7 big house? Because says yes, but I'll probably pass it on to my wife. And just what you said, lucky wife. Ted, what are your thoughts about the Motorola Edge Plus 2022 so far? Yeah, Ted has my phone, so ask him. Tell him, Ted.
I told him. It's what we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's what
the camera UI, the great display.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that comment then. Okay. What else? I think Moto is ready for the greatest sleeper feature, AI lock screen, and battery. Interesting. I like the camera UI, but not the foot. That's right. You said that. Okay. Agreed to, but I still haven't used ready for. Yeah, when you send it back, I'm going to actually make an effort to use it. Love that chopped. Yeah, everybody loves that chopped feature for turning on the flashlight.
I do have a letdown with it though, with the features.
Okay.
The twist feature. I thought with the twist feature, like, there's two shortcuts. You can, double tap the home button,
right,
or the power button to bring up a camera, and you could do the twist feature to bring up a camera. I was hoping.
Here I go.
I was hoping that on the Motorola, Like the each motion or shortcut would I could use it for a different camera app. But no,
Oh
once
no,
you,
I think it's always the same one, right?
yeah, it's always the same one. You get to pick one, but you can't
Right.
you don't have an
Right.
options to pick one.
Yeah, you can't change it. Yeah,
So
you
that was
can't
suck.
change it on the fly. Kind of okay. But
That
yeah,
was disappointing.
here's the chop, folks. What he was talking about, and there's
Chop,
the
chop.
flashlight.
Whew.
It is a cool feature. It's supposed to go off too.
It is very good.
Okay. So I haven't had a moto phone in well, I haven't used a moto phone much, and I never used that plus as much as I should. But I'll probably use it more when you send it back. But like I said, take your time and get what you need out of it.
Thank you.
Steve,
Thank you. Yes,
Steve,
sir.
the Pixel Fold isn't coming to Canada either. Interesting. So Steve's up in Canada. I didn't know. Oh, I did see somewhere that it wasn't going to Canada. I can't think of where I saw it, but I did see that somewhere. I just didn't know it wasn't going to India, so I got this article. That would be weird, Steve, since Lou from Unbox Therapy did an unboxing on the Pixel Fold. Well, yeah, I guess Lou's required. I mean, was he got 18 million subscribers at this point? Yeah, that is. You would think he would mention. Maybe he did mention it. I haven't seen it. So, okay. All right, I got one more story left, and it's on NFC. So I'm going to go over to that. Going to share screen. Okay, and it has to do once again with the budget moto phones. Now, in the article they're mentioning too, but my Moto G Power is the same as those two. So, what I said was, "Come on, Moto! Even budget phones can make good use of NFC." And this is from Android Authority. Someone tell Motorola NFC is an essential feature. Motorola thinks a 2-megapixel macro camera is more important than contactless payments and public transport. I agree. That's by Hadley Simmons. So let's go into review, get rid of commercials, some of the commercials. Okay. Motorola recently announced two cheap smartphones in the U.S., namely the $200 Moto G Stylus and the $250 Moto G5 G. Unfortunately, there's only one major omission with these handsets, and that's the lack of an NFC chip, and include the Moto G Power on that list with those two. This is a miserly decision in light of the fact that Motorola's rivals in the market tend to offer NFC support. For example, the $200 Galaxy A14, a lot of people seem to like that phone, like Sereno, and $200 OnePlus Nord N200 both offer this feature in the US. Even the $160 Galaxy A03, which undercuts the Moto G Stylus, offers NFC capabilities. So that does throw a lot of shade on Moto then. These brands reflect today's reality, which is that NFC support is now as important as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities for many consumers. I agree. In fact, Visa reports that over 75% of point-of-sale transactions in the U.S. occur at a contactless-enabled terminal. In other words, you can tap it with your phone. With 265 out of the top 300 merchants supporting contactless payments. Motorola thinks NFC isn't critical for budget-focused buyers. That's just not true. This is the reality Motorola, and of course, this is Lenovo's decision. This is a reality Motorola has seemingly failed to accept. Its response to a journalist's question on the matter during a briefing was disappointing. The company said it was forced to prioritize some features over others, adding that NFC wasn't as critical for budget-focused consumers. Now, that's coming straight from Lenovo. Motorola's claim that prioritizing some features is especially irksome. The company is shipping low-quality macro cameras instead. Yeah, that is aggravating. Who values taking poor-looking 2-megapixel macro shots over the convenience of NFC? Good point.
Ooh, 2 megapixels.
That's a very good point. In fact, has anyone ever bemoaned the lack of a 2-megapixel macro camera in general? No, I've heard nothing but insults about it from everybody. And that's on any two megapixel. This reasoning is also strange when the company is prioritizing non-essential features like a stylus and Dolby Atmos support on the Moto G stylus, right? Even my 2-year-old Moto G stylus had both of those. We can appreciate the desire to bring a stylus to a much cheaper price segment, but not at the expense of basic features. I agree. Why NFC is a non-negotiable feature to me. NFC used to be a feature I could live without for 4 or 5 years ago, but fast forward to 2023, and I'm using the tech at least once a week. That's primarily due to Google Wallet finally launching in South Africa last year, joining established payment solutions like Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and others. But Google Wallet isn't brand specific, making it a more convenient payment service for my daily life. I agree. NFC also frequently comes into its own when I'm traveling. I most recently found it handy in Barcelona for MWC 2023 earlier this year, owing to the convenient tap and go functionality for the subway service. Cool. Motorola is effectively saying that the ability to take dubious macro shots is more important than contactless payments. Yeah, I totally disagree with them there. There are plenty of other uses for NFC too, including scanning tags in public settings, pairing accessories like earbuds and smart home gadgets, and initiating smart home routines. Nevertheless, these are all cherries on the payment and transit cake. I agree. I still use QR code-based payments in some situations, though. I prefer the QR route when paying for mall parking, for example, because I can avoid the queues for NFC-enabled parking payment machines by scanning my parking ticket instead. Oh, cool. QR code payments are also common at food markets where some vendors might not have a card payment machine. Makes sense. Nevertheless, I'm by and large using NFC-based payments for everyday purchases, such as groceries, fuel, and more. Even though NFC support varies by region, yeah, big time. Motorola's willingness to nix the feature from its budget products is still questionable. I agree. Even the notorious slow US is catching up to the rest of the world and has hopped onto the contactless payment bandwagon. So it's high time for Motorola to cater to this demand instead of pretending the US is still stuck in 2013. Totally agree with everything he's saying. Okay, read review, stop screen. Okay, Ted, we are down to glowing rectangles, and you're up. Make sense?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this stream with us, you probably may or not be interested in tech stories and tech videos and just tech all around in general. And if you are, why don't you head on over to www.reddit.com/r/growing rectangles. And over there, you will see a whole slew of tech stories shared by users like you, not no pesky, unfeeling algorithm. And then while you're there, also feel free to throw an upvote. That is, click the up arrow button on the website and just go ahead and enjoy the stories and share your own tech stories.
Oh, look at I'm in the I am in the Microsoft Edge, and it won't let me click on the top. So let me see if I can get glowing rectangles in a Chrome browser. Give me a second here. Let's see if I can get it done.
But yeah, this has been a crazy week for me personally. The Google's I/O. Personally, I think the best thing out of Google I/O is me finding out they're going to expand their Find My network. They're going to open it up to Tile, and they're going to do the same thing, like with like what they're doing with Nearby Share, so that all Android phones will create a network where you can just Find My devices. So that would be incredible.
All right, guys, I'm sorry I can't get the clicking the top button to work because I'm in Microsoft Edge and I can't get my.
Did you have it? Yeah, what is it?
Huh? No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Find My Network was the best thing for me out of Google I/O this week.
Okay.
And but the first great news was of course the Xperia V5 was announced too. Yeah.
Now, is
Yep.
this the one you were talking about getting?
Now I'm gonna get the 5. The 5. Oh
Okay.
my. What was that gonna be called? The 5.5? The 5V? The 5V?
Who knows?
The 5V? The 5V. Or maybe they won't even do it. Because
Oh, the 5x5. Okay.
the 5x5.
All right. So anyway, some gadget guy got the most votes today with his Sony Xperia
He
1.5.
just released that 3 hours ago. That's not the most today, is it?
It looks like it.
No, it's not. You have to go on top. You have to filter it by top.
Like it won't filter by top because I'm in Microsoft Edge and it doesn't
Hold
like
on, wait for it. There you go. Oh my
You
God,
have-
it is the top story of the day. Goodness
it. I
gracious.
thought so. Okay, I was right.
Yeah. He sees it's a worthy upgrade. Spoiler alert, it is a worthy upgrade. It's $200 cheaper and it gets rid of most of the problems that the Xperia 1.4 had. That is,
And
the
what's
thermal
and what's the total price?
$1,400.
$1,400. Yeah, I can't afford that.
What? It's cheaper than the Fold. And they reduced it.
And
It's
I'm not
$200
buying a
cheaper.
Fold, and I've never bought a Fold. Remember, that's why.
And it's $200 cheaper from last year.
Okay. I'll still wait till you have one. Plus, you have use for this. You're a professional photographer. I am not. And I'll
Yeah.
probably never use all the features that it has.
That's not true. Look at the big house. Ouch, $1,400. Guys, last year it was $1,600. I don't know what do you
I
guys want?
remember that too. That's true.
What do you
That
guys
is
want?
very true.
Okay, they made the phone smaller. They still kept the battery size, 5,000 milliamps. They reduced the price. Like they put the texture on the skin so that it doesn't leave fingerprints much. It's like what you want from Sony's at this point working magic now.
And that's all making it worth $1,400 to me? No, it's making it worth $1,400 to a professional photographer like the guy I'm
4K
talking to.
OLED display. Okay, it's the only phone on the market with a 4K
true.
OLED.
That is true. I remember that too.
Let's see. What's the next story? Canva.
No, that's an ad.
Yeah,
Next story is also it's the IQ new launch. Okay, yeah, budget friendly phone. Who's that by?
I don't know. Doesn't show me who shares it.
Yeah,
on
I'm
your
not
phone.
seeing who that's by. Interesting.
Is this an ad? It's a weird ad,
Yeah, it is an ad.
like a grassroots ad almost, huh?
Yeah, the camera is an ad. The second one is always an ad here. Okay. Sorry, I
They
can't
got
pull.
ouch on any phone above $1,000. That you must be screaming in pain ever since 2018 when all the
18, yeah.
all the phones started being
They all went up
$7,400.
above $1,000. That's true.
Pixel 7a versus 7 blurred lines. I
Okay.
was a bit sad to see the 7a sold at $499 because it pretty much guarantees the Pixel 8 will never be sold at $499.
Yeah, but I can see why they went up to $499. I mean, they added wireless charging, and that's kind of a big deal. So I think that's worth $50.
I mean, yeah, it's a $50 increase, and yeah, for $50 you get 90 hertz refresh rate, wireless
Yeah.
charging, and better construction, and improved cameras like what the 7 had or the 6
Mhm.
had. So I get it, but I got my Pixel 7 for around like at the $499 mark and then I got it cheaper with a trade-in. So the
Yeah.
Pixel 8 is probably going to cost more.
Yeah.
But if the Pixel 8 comes with the sensor, the telephoto sensor of the Pro model, I'm not going to complain.
Okay. Now, Steve had said before, big Canadian YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips and Unbox Therapy don't bother to talk about the Canadian situation. when they talk about product unavailable in Canada. So they review them, but whether it's available or not makes sense. Okay. All right. Are you going to go any more on the glowing rectangles?
Nah.
Since I can't get the pictures to show, sorry about. I'll try to get my my Chrome situation straightened out by next week, folks. This is the first time this has ever happened, and I'm thinking tomorrow I may have to back out the latest Windows update that I got today. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to stop screen. Okay, and we're good. So, folks, that's today's show. Wait, see. Don is in here with some. Big House says, I say ouch on any phone over $1,000, and that makes perfect sense. And Don said, and the premium chipset. I guess he's talking about the Sony. Don also said 70 has the same chip. Oh, as the 7 Pro. Okay. Will is saying time. Why is Will saying time travel? What's up, Will? Too bad you couldn't get in here with us.
We're back in April. What happened in April?
Yeah, what does he mean by that? Time traveling. We are back in April. I don't get it. You gotta explain it to the old man and the young man, Will, because neither one of us get it. Oh, Cranberry, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it, brother. And you have a wonderful and blessed weekend. Oh, my date on the. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, wow. April 12th.
Yeah, okay. I had copied it from another one, and I totally missed that. Sorry about
You're
that.
You're the only one who does that, right? For Friday Night Tech Talk. You don't use dates for the titles.
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah. Except,
we actually bother making up titles for ours. Mike and I.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Will, for straightening me out. I'll try to get it right next week. All right. At least we didn't have any tech issues today. All right. So thanks for coming by, guys. And as always, thanks, Ted. Thanks, Will, for at least dropping in. We appreciate that. And all you guys, Cranberry, Don, and of course, all our regulars, Big House, Steve, thank you. Annette, thank you. Glad you got your problem fixed. Munchie, thanks very much. Anthony, he's already gone to bed, but we thank him very much. And of course, Brian and Eleanor and Gary. And I think I got everybody covered. So please continue.
Chats, Robinson, Brian, and Big House.
Yep. Please continue to pray for Eleanor's double foot operation because she's going to be healing for the next at least 3 weeks still. And I'm taking her daughter to the airport tomorrow so she can get back home for Mother's Day, be with her family. So pray for me to help Eleanor as much as I can and get over here as much as I can to help her. Okay. Nice of Don. He says, I will try to get here on time next week, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. See, you can see he doesn't live in Dallas anymore. Now he lives in Oklahoma. You can say, and the creek don't rise. They talk different. Very kind of you, Don. I appreciate it. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful and blessed weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Big House. Appreciate it very much.
Bye, guys.